All right, let's do a little bit of Demi Colour. I just had, saw in my stories, I just had a image perfection skin lift, a perfection lift they call it, which is just a chemical peel. The product is Image, and I'm definitely like super tight, and I've already got some kind of extra texture already started, so I don't want to add more texture. And the thing about Demi Colour, there is no added texture, so I just want to be super minimal and very little on my skin, and Demi is perfect for that. So I'm just going to take a couple of places and filter out some distractions, maybe bring some color to my cheeks just a little bit. I am a little bit pink, and I'm not going to try to take care of all of the pinkness. I just want a little bit of balance because I've got to go meet with our builders of the house, and I've got some in-person color matches to do, so I don't want to kind of scare them away. So let's do a little bit of makeup. So if you have any questions about Demi Colour, please ask in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows really quick. I like to use the Indigo Contour with the 3D foundation, and I'm using the line brush. For one, it makes the hair be tamed, and it does really well with my hair color. So please say hello when you jump on, ask any questions. And I'm just going to throw on some brows. You gotta have brows. If you don't ever do your brows, I highly recommend. And just kind of tracing. My brows are microbladed, so it does help have something to trace. I literally have no hair from here over. Good morning. I literally have no hair from here over, so the microblading helps with that, but I still have like light hair and some gray hair, so the contour works really well for coloring. You can use an eyeshadow, and I use the cream eyeshadows as well. Where are you watching from? Sometimes I recognize handles. I'm Laurie. Hey, Laurie. All right, there's a little bit of brows. I mean, seriously, that's minimal. I would walk out the door with brows any day because it's a must. Okay, I'm first going to start with the shape brush. I like to tone a little bit. So with Demi Colour, this is, I'll bet this one, Northern California, all the way over there. My son is in Washington State, so he's like kind of close to you. I have a daughter way over in DC. I have 2 children, and they're on the opposite ends, and I'm right dead almost in the center, not quite. I'm southeast in Georgia. So now this is Demi Colour. This is the Angel Edit. The only thing, this is an eyeshadow that I use for my brows. So this is all of the colors in the Angel Edit 2, and the only thing I've added in here is the NR for Sculpt and the Balm, okay? And I'll talk about why I added those in. But I'm going to stick with the saturated colors, 3, 5s, and 7s, and to help tone skin. With toning, you're just wanting to add color and balance it. It doesn't really sculpt, it just helps balance color. So, you know, fatty part of your cheeks typically, and being older, you know, being 50, we kind of lose coloring in our skin, and sometimes we get excess color here in the center of our face. So I really want to add that color back here to warm up so I don't look so ashy and pale. But what I love about Demi is it comes on you softly, so when you start, you don't really notice that anything on my brush, but as you see it from beginning to end, it's magical. So I'm just taking a little bit of that orange, and like I said, I had a skin peel yesterday, so I'm like super shiny, skin's very tight. I've already started some lift here. That's the reason why I definitely want to do Demi, because it's very little on the skin. I'm using the 07 and the shape brush, and kind of in this part of my face, I like to kind of stay the more saturated colors in the lower half of my face and away from the eyes, and let this be brighter. So I'm just using the 07, and what's great about the bundles is the troubleshooting. Like, don't worry about like, knowing the colors, like, oh my gosh, that confuses me. It is a new way of thinking. Trust me, I know. But oh my gosh, so worth it. It's just, you got to think a little differently. But once you see it on your own skin, you're like, okay, I get it. That's the way I was. So here I'm just kind of using the 07. Oh, and what I was saying about the angel edits is their colors are already selected due to your skin tone. So the process of elimination and troubleshooting is so easy. So here I've just added some color like on the lower half of my face. You can do this down on your neck. Typically right here we're pretty white, so we need a little added color there, or it accentuates the double chin, and we don't want that. Okay, just a little bit of added color there. It's extremely subtle, but like I said, from beginning to end you will see the difference much better. All right, now I'm going to do a little bit of toning here. Now where I have excess color, you want to subtract it. So I go to the lower ends of the saturation. These are the ones. And so which one do I pick? I'm just going to use an red-orange one, because right here it has orange and red in it. One, because I have hyperpigmentation, freckling, and that kind of thing, which is typically muddy green, so I need a red for that. Red and green neutralize each other. And I need the orange because of recess area, which makes my eyes sunk in a little bit, and large pores, which typically are show up due to shadow. So shadows are blue, so I'm going to use this OR1, and I'm using this small end for the smaller area. I could use this other end as well. I mean, I'm just very, very lightly toning that up. See, it helps so much. Kind of swirl it around. I mean, the goal here is I'm lightly, these tins will last you 12 months. I'm lightly just swirling this stain in this area, basically is what I'm doing. Bless you too. Have you heard of Demi Colour? And I'm doing the same thing here. Everywhere where I have excess color down the center of my face, I want to subtract that color and get it back balanced with the rest of my face. So I am just balancing out that excess blue from pores and hyperpigmentation. Now right here I have large veins that come down through there, so they're very green, so I'm just going to use the red one, just red by itself. Don't really have large pores on my forehead, just some veins and hyperpigmentation, but just right in here I want that a little brighter. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of that same thing, 01, and kind of balance the excess red. I'm a little pink from the skin peel, but it's okay. All right, now I'm going to sculpt. Sculpt is giving structure and contouring your face. I'm going to use both the NR and the NO. I added the NR into this bundle because I need the red for some hyperpigmentation in these areas. So I just use the small end so I can have a little smaller area that I'm working in. And I take in both colors, and I'm just going to go underneath my cheekbone just a little to accentuate my cheeks. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. It's so cool. Literally, guys, you cannot see it on the skin. There's literally no product, no added texture, and I needed that because I do have a skin peel and I do have some lift there, and I did not want, hey Sherry, sure. All right, so here I'm sculpting Sherry, and I'm just taking a little bit with this small brush and sculpting his like contour. And in mine, I added the NR because I have pigmentations right in here, which is typically very green. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So basically where you contour, you're using your sculpt. So Sherry, if you have the blending brush, you can use the small end of the blending brush to do this. So I'm just adding a little bit of structure here. around my forehead. Now right here, very green, hollowness, shadowy, same thing. I need the NO and the NR right in there, my temples. What is that noise? You hear that? Some kind of big trucks. All right. I'm gonna do the same thing at my jawline where I have excess shadow, definitely right back in here. So just think wherever you would like some contour to add to your shape, that's where you're gonna do this sculpt. But like I said, undetectable on the skin. You cannot see where I'm got some skin peeling here. That's the reason I wanted to do the Demi, so I don't have excess texture. All right, so now I'm going to do, you can sculpt your eyes and your nose as well, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, and your lips. So I'm going to do that since I have the sculpt out already. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take a little bit of the NO. Why? Because I have large pores on my nose, and you see how it's kind of very shadowed. I'm just going to soften that shadow and balance that color with the orange. I mean, we're talking super light. These tints should last you a very long time. You should not see it going on the skin. It should be very, very subtle happening. Like I said, that's the reason why I take the before and afters, because that's when you really, really notice the difference. It's because it seems so subtle and you're thinking, am I doing anything? But really and truly, it just kind of happens. Okay, God's Children's Home. You're not coming on the live with me? Sorry. If you're interested in Demi or you have any questions about the makeup, be glad to answer them, God's Children's Home. But other than that, you just need to jump off of here. Thank you. All right, so I am taking some of the NR sculpt with this smaller brush. So you always want to use a size brush for the area that you're going towards. So I'm just taking the actual structure of my eye and adding the NR there. I could use the NO too, but I have some freckling right here on my eyelid, so I just want to balance that with the red. Why red? Because freckling and hyperpigmentation is very muddy and green. So I'm just kind of working that in there. Now down in here, very shadowy, so shadows are blue, and I want to use the NO to sculpt down in here. Just a little bit. Do you see how that just kind of compare the difference? Opened up my eye. You would think it would do the opposite, but I'm balancing the color of the excess shadow there, and it just kind of balanced with the whole face. Now I'm going to use the NR, the red, around my lips just a little bit because I have freckling around my lips, which makes it have like an uneven tone. So I'm just going to go around here. Now keep in mind your Angel Edit, and Sherry, I know you've got one. They have the color selections already for you, so the process is so much easier in these bundles, and that's the reason why I love them. So I'm taking right in here and just kind of structuring out and adding to already structure on my lip. I'm sure it is. If you are helping poor orphan children, then you should not be on a makeup tutorial. You should be busy helping them. I'm sure they would rather have your attention than be here with me on a makeup tutorial. Look, let me tell you something. Not being mean or nothing, but I don't have time for that nonsense. I really don't. I'm definitely not in the mood for it either. All right. Okay, now I've definitely sculpted here. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's do the next step. I'm going to add some color to my cheeks. All right, I'm going to use the lighter pink, that it has two that comes in this bundle. It's the red and violet, and the red and violet most intense color. Whoops. See this one right here? This is more saturated, less saturated. So I'm going to use the more saturated color in areas where I need more color, maybe more depth. I could use this red orange 5 as well right here on the cheeks. So I'm just going to use these two colors. I'm going to use the lighter red violet in the smaller end of this brush. And I'm going to go on top of my cheek. The reason why I choose that one is because it's lighter, and so it's going to make my cheek appear brighter next to my eye. The red is going to help balance that hyperpigmentation on my cheek, and then I get that subtle brightness of the violet in there on the top of my cheek. Now on the cheek down underneath, right above where I sculpt, I'm going to use the more saturated color with a small brush and just kind of add some color to my cheeks where I do not have natural flush. So if you have natural flush, highly recommend to allow that natural flush to show and just take out the little dark points in that area and let it be your own color, because it's God-given. God bless you and your family too. See? Oh my gosh, this stuff, guys. Oh, I need to do that. Sorry. I'm going to take the lighter red on top of my cheek. And keep in mind, this takes very little. See how it just kind of brightened up my cheek? And now I'm going to give my cheek some depth with the deeper saturation. And I'm kind of coming under my cheek. So if you're a gal that does not have a lot of color in your cheeks, this is a great technique to do with Demi Colour with these bundles already in there. This is the Angel Edit 2. So if you have any questions about Demi Colour, please ask away. If you need to have your colors or which bundle fits you best, go to yes.altheamatchme.com. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. And if you have any questions about the artist program, I'll be glad to share with you, because it's the best thing I've ever done. You don't want to miss this opportunity. All right, there's a little extra color. Remember, it takes very little. You do it softly. You do not see anything on the skin. See, that just looks nice and fresh and looks like my skin, because it is my skin. I'm not covering it up. I'm just taking care of excess color. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my lips. I definitely have some dark points in my lips, so I'm going to take those out. See, so a dark here and a dark here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to use the red orange 5 because I do not want to use these lighter ones because they're going to subtract too much color from my lips. I just want to balance that excess color. So I'm going to use the red orange 5. Just in those dark points. And you see that just balance my natural lip color when I took care of those dark points. Okay, so now I'm going to take the more saturated color, and around the perimeter of my lip, I have, over the time and age, you lose some of that color there. So I want to add that color in there, so I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use the red violet that I used on my cheek that added the depth to my cheek, and take it just under here. Where I've had a loss of lip color. Almost looks kind of white. So when you jump on, let me know where you're watching from. And I'm just adding color where I've lost color at the perimeter of my lip. And let me tell you something, I have been in shock the longevity on your lips, how long this lasts. So right in here, I have like white spots, and these things, it's like uneven skin on coloring on my lips, and right in there, and it makes your lips look kind of chapped, and so this just evens it out. Then I'm going to take that same lighter pink, which matches my lip color, and just tap it right on. So it looks like my natural lip color, but more even. All right, now I'm going to take and filter out any areas of excess color. So right here in my eyes, and this is when we're filtering out, especially around the eye area, we want to use the ones. So anything that looks vibrant and very saturated, that's more likely going to be purple. So we need yellow to cancel purple. I'm going to use the yellow oranges. I will use this one a lot. This is a yellow orange one. And areas that are muddy, muddy green color, like a freckle or H spot, and it's not too dark, that's just straight up green, I'm going to use the red. But anything that I have like an age spot or a sunspot that's darker than anything else around it, some hyperpigmentation that's anywhere around it that's darker than anything else, on those dark points in those areas, I'm going to use some red orange, and probably in the medium tone, or I could take it out with a 1. It's according how dark and how bright do I want that area. But I like to stay kind of bright around my eyes. When it comes to the cheeks, if I filter out anything else, I don't want to erase the color, so I may just balance it with a 3. So I'm going to use these 6 to balance with, and sometimes I come over here and I grab this 03 for areas of just blue. What's just blue is shadow, okay, a pore or something like that. So got a couple tricks up for my sleeve. So right in here is very vibrant. We're going to call that purple. Don't worry about knowing the colors of your skin. You will learn them. The best way to do it is process of elimination, knowing the colors that are opposite of each other, yellow and purple, red and green, blue and orange, those 3 things, and you will quickly learn the colors on your face. So here I am going, boy, I'm loving all the hearts. This is so kind of you. So I'm using the yellow orange in there, and you want to only go to the dark points, and it takes very little. See there, just that by itself. I have some broken capillaries here that are very vibrant. Usually capillaries, broken capillaries, are purple, blue, so that yellow is going to take out that purple, and the orange is going to take out the blue. But I would not want, I'm only touching dark points, that, like right onto the vessel, squiggling it around there. Anything that looks like a broken capillary, I call it kind of raspberry looking, you know that that is purple with some blue in it. So anything that looks like that, and I have several of them, especially after the skin peel, but I'm just not going to put it all over. I just want to touch the hot points, and once I touch, not hot points, but the darkest points, it just kind of disappears in the background. The whole area does. So look, this is just touching a couple of dark points in there, and see how that whole area just kind of brightened up. All right, here, definitely raspberry looking. So I'm going to use the yellow orange, and this is where I still have some lift from the skin peel that's starting to peel up. So this is going to be nice because I'm not going to have that added texture from makeup, because the Demi is just going to stain that area. So all these little areas that look kind of raspberry, and there's a couple in my cheeks, just a couple, and I'm just going to touch those. I mean, we're talking very little. That's the learning curve. I wouldn't worry about trying to learn the colors. That's not the learning curve, is how little product you need, like the touch. I've amazed myself and the customers of mine that have the Demi, how quickly they are learning themselves, especially the ones that got the angel edits. They just quickly figured it out. The best way I can say is, let's match you to the color, to your colors, or to the bundle, or to an angel edit. Grab it and we can do it together. I FaceTime ladies, we go back and forth, multiple ways we can do that. Okay, those are all those areas with that yellow and purple that I'm going to use. Now I do have some hyperpigmentation here in the hollowness of my eye. So hollowness is going to be blue, it's a shadow, plus the hyperpigmentation's green, muddy looking, so together they make a blue-green, so I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. And since it's here, I don't want added color, so I'm going to use the red-orange 1, or orange-red 1. It has more orange in it than red. So I'm just going to touch a couple of dark points in there that have freckles. And then what's left, I have some shadow. So I'm just going to use the O1, just orange for the shadow. Once I took out the freckles, there's a couple of dark points there that are, see, that's just all brightening up. Now here, this is muddy green, so I'm just going to use red. What is it, kitty? That's my cat scratch. Now, if it looks chalky, or if you get too much product, you just tap on it, and if it starts looking chalky, then you need to move away from that color and go to the orange. All right, right in here, see that little dark point? See, that's darker than anything else, so it definitely has blue in it, and it's pretty dark. So I want to subtract some of that, so I'm going to go over here to the orange 3 and just touch that dark point, and it's gone. So here, these are muddy green, but they're not as dark, but I'm going to use the red orange 3 in this area because it's mostly dark point freckles that make that whole area look kind of dark. Anything up here on the bridge of, or whatever you call it, the shelf of my cheek, I want it to stay kind of bright. I didn't want this too bright right here where my wrinkles are. I just want to take care of those freckles, because taking care of freckles that are in a wrinkle makes the wrinkle less noticeable. I mean, it's crazy. All right, right in here on this shelf, just right here, there's some muddy hyperpigmentation, and I'm just going to use straight up red 1. I could continue using that red 1 in all of these areas, but I found I really like that little touch of brightness right there for my cheek. All right, like I said, jumping in and just playing with it, and you'll shock yourself how much you learn. I'm going to use this red orange 3 for the same kind of thing, but I don't want to erase all of this color in my cheek, because again, I do not have color in my cheeks. Alone, I needed that little added color, so I'm going to use the red orange 3 for hyperpigmentation age spots right here. So the red is taking care of the hyperpigmentation, and the orange is taking care of the excess color that it has. Hey, Maxie. So look, oh my gosh, guys, I love it. All right, same thing here. See that age spot? Just a little bit of that red orange 3. Like I said, these bundles make it so easy by process of elimination. How are you? Now right here, I have a scar, and so that means it's recessed, so it's shadowed, and it does have a couple of freckles in it. So I'm going to use that same color, orange for the shadow and the red for the freckle. How are you, Maxie? All right, and I have On this side of my face, more hyperpigmentation. See, there's one right there that shows up more than else. And just taking that out there. Thank you. I'm loving the Demi, especially I had a skin peel, so it's definitely does, since I'm peeling, I don't need added texture. So I'm able to put all of the treatment that my esthetician gave me to help it stay moist, and so the Demi works really well with that. So I'm going to take this right here and do the same thing. Again, everything around my eyes. Thank you. They're so fun and addictive. I wish you could just make money at doing that. It'd be so fun. And you know what my dream job was when I would still do it to this day if I could get away with it. My dream job, besides doing this and teaching, would be a mascot. I would love, love, love to be a mascot. I was a mascot my senior year of high school. Money and reels, yes. I was a mascot for my high school my senior year. I was a cheerleader all the way through school. And I fell in love with it. And I became obsessed with watching other mascots professionally. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to be a mascot professionally. That'd be so much fun. All right, so again, everything around my eyes, I want to stay in the ones because I want to take away excess color. Which mascot would be my fave? My favorite? Well, get this, I was a cougar for my high school. So that would have been fun. I would want to be an animal, of course. I would want to be something like a cat or a cougar or something. Our school has a mascot uniform, and I secretly dressed up like that for a pep rally. Nobody knew who I was. I had the best time. You can get away with anything when you're a mascot because nobody sees you. You're kind of like hidden. So you can do like anything that you ever wished with the mascot uniform. All right, so I'm going to stay with the ones here. So I'm going to use this OR1 right here. Why orange? Why the red? Red for those freckles. Which one would you be? What would be your animal? So I'm using the red here where I have hyperpigmentation and the orange for the shadow. So now I've taken care, and there's a couple others right here that make my eye look darker. Love it. So now I'm just going to use the orange because of some shadow. So there's no freckle right there, but that's a shadow, which makes me look, it's where the eye is recessed right there. So I'm going to take that out. Cardinal. I could do a cardinal. Cardinals are cool. We have a thing here that, I don't know if you've ever heard this maxi in our area. I don't know if this is a thing I just grew up with and grew up with. Is this a thing that's everywhere? Is whenever you see a cardinal, it's someone that has already passed on that's coming to visit you. Have you ever heard that before? Okay, so all I'm doing right here, we seem to have a lot of green on most ladies that I've color matched in person. You've heard that before? Good, I'm glad I'm not the only one. We have a lot of green right here. Other animals you have? Yeah, it's cardinals is what we've heard here. So typically right here, right underneath the eye, there's right here at the socket, at the bone. Oh, they do? I didn't know that. I love birds. I wish I knew more about them, but I'm always fascinated with them. I love listening to them. I love watching them. Right here in this area, we have like a large nerve type vein thing. I know they're not the same thing, but there's a huge veins that go into here to the eye socket. So it ends up, we get a lot of hyperpigmentation there. Yes, we do that too. we do that too. My sister has a cardinal that visits her, and we say it's our grandmother. So what I'm doing right here is where life has given me some sagginess. So it brings down, and I have excess shadow there. So shadow is blue. So I just put a touch of orange just right there, and it lifts up my cheek. Loving it. Loving it. All right, and then I have some excess shadow here, acne scars, and large pores. Large pores are going to be blue due to shadow. So I want to take out that. Look at that, guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Maxie, for dropping by. I'm so glad to hear from you. So what I'm going to do right here on my lip is use the orange red one. This is why. I have lines around my lip, and I have hyperpigmentation just like here in my eyes. So I want to take those out, and what it's going to do is give me a pretty light in around my lip with that added shadow that I've added, so it kind of gives you a lift. That's always a good thing, and it makes the lines around my mouth not as prominent. All right, a couple more things and I'm done. I'm gonna throw on my mascara, and then I've got to go. Got to color match some ladies. I have some freckles right there, and since this is in an area where there's no shadow because it's on something that comes forward and it's brighter, I don't need any orange. I just want to touch those couple of freckles, and look what it did to my eyes. It lifted them, and it took away that distraction, and it brought a lot more light to my eyes. Loving it. So you can take Demi as far as you want. You can go complete glam. You really can with Demi. And you can be as simple and as natural as you want. Absolutely. Right down through here, guys. See how this is, it's not as bright. So that's a little excess color right there from my skin peel. So I'm just going to use some 03 because it's just excess color. I'm just going to use 03 because I have, from trial and error, see that something that looks purple on my nose like that really is just blue from, I guess, the blood flow there close to the skin, and the skin's thin right there, so it's just very blue. And I take that orange and put it on there, it brightens it right up. All right, I'm completely done. I'm so glad y'all jumped in with me to join me, and now I'm going to put on my mascara. I won't bore you doing that. What's his name must have left. He wanted me to, he wasn't interested in makeup. So if you have any questions about Demi, I think this is a great way to go. This is the Demi bundle. Oh yeah, this is the balm. This is what you use this for. I almost forgot. You can use it on your lips. It's like, gives you a natural glow. So watch this cheek. Oh my gosh. Look, see? So we have one that's called gloss, and we have one that's called balm, and it just gives you that natural, healthy, dewy color. Love it. All right, guys, thank you. So if you need any help picking your angel edit, this is the way I say to go, because all your colors are selected for you, so the learning curve is going, this is going to significantly help you to learn a new way of thinking about makeup and about your skin. You do not have to think that you have to cover your whole face. You can take away the things that you don't want and show off the things that you love about your skin. So if you need any help with this, be sure to ask me. You can go to yes.outtherematchme.com, and I can help pick your edit that fits you best. And don't worry about getting support and help, because I will help you all the way through. I love it. It's my favorite part. All right, thanks for jumping on here. And also, if you have questions about the artist program and about signing up and doing this and being a Demi artist, just give me a holler, because it's completely doable. You can do this if I can. All right, thanks for jumping on. Y'all have a great day. I'll share my before and afters here in just a bit in my stories. Bye.